Good day, everybody, and welcome to this month's podcast. Let's get the guys in here and get started. Hello.
Hello, hello, hello.
I'm disappointed. There was not one dick joke to be made.
No, we did it all. We did it all but while you left.
We did it all for the nookie. Alright. So, let's talk about joke games, because I don't have one, but they do. So, so what's your joke game of the month this month? Don't all go at once.
First?
Yeah, go ahead.
You go first, right? Because you have more than one, whereas I only have one.
This is true. Although I kind of want to save one for when Dan gets here. Let's start with BVOVB. Bruising Vengeance of the Vintage Boxer.
God. I am so excited to see this. Let's see the trailer. Alright. Street Brawler. What in the fuck?
All John cares about is beer and his dog. Sounds like John Wick.
Might be inspired. You don't know.
Bad people took the dog, right? Yeah, this is.
Oh my god! That is the greatest brawler game I've ever seen in my life.
It says vintage boxer, and then the first four people he just like headbutts.
That's why it's vintage. You know, back then they didn't have so many rules, you know?
Boxing, you can use your head.
Yeah, I mean...
Boxing is an intelligent sport. Use your head.
Yes. Alright, so what's the next one?
I found another one. So, go ahead, James.
Yeah, I have a limousine parking simulator.
That's gonna be great.
Your mission as a limousine driver is to learn how to drive almost perfect. This doesn't even make English sense. Is to learn how to drive almost perfect a limousine.
I mean,
This is for Mario.
Yeah, this is a Mario game. We're gonna have to send this one to him.
You got the drift, you got the swerve, you got the park.
Alright, he told us to let him know if we found anything. So Ray, send this to him.
Yeah.
I could totally see him 100%ing this. He'll pre-order it day one. Oh, there's no cats in it. Never mind. Alright, what's your other one, Ray?
Banana Hell, Mountain of Madness.
Banana Hell?
Yes.
That sounds fun. I like bananas. Oh,
We know.
wrong one. It was the wrong Banana Hell. Sorry.
Okay, there's many.
Yeah, the Mountain of Madness. There you go. Oh yeah, this made me think of. It doesn't actually have a trailer, but this made me think of My Friend Pedro, with the fact that it's like, you know, a sentient, like, crazy banana. Jump your way to get the blue diamond as you try to survive a very annoying banana monologue. A really hard game. Okay, this one, it better come out on Xbox. I want to send this one to Silver. I'm not showing up this one. Alright, anything else? Or is that what we got this one?
That's it.
Okay. I was just making sure, like, I'm hearing dead silence, and I'm like, oh god. What happened now?
I'm surprised you don't have a joke game.
You know what's funny is I spent a lot of time looking through games, and I didn't really find anything that I found too awfully funny. It's usually just, like, I think maybe I became desensitized to it because there's so much of, like, the furry stuff and everything else, or, like, the plain on, like, porn games, that I'm just, like, trying to skip that shit at this point.
Much porn.
Yeah, so much porn. Alright, so we're going to talk about the games we've been playing over the last month, and I have not played many. I took the whole entire month and basically tried to play as little video games as possible to combat burnout, which, thankfully, I really do want to play video games now, and I feel like the break was well worth it. But yeah, what have you guys been playing?
I was playing Zell.
Oh yeah, we both played that one. All right, so cool.
Yeah.
We could both talk about it.
Yeah, I played a little bit on stream. I played like about 2 hours or so, and it was real good. I actually have been meaning to get back to it, but because I'm house sitting at the moment, which is why my mic isn't sounding the best either. But yeah, like when I'm back home, kind of next week, I will be getting back on that and playing that because it's just really good. I really enjoy it, and yeah, it's just been really fun. I've just kind of done the first part, gone out into basically the bit that you're watching in the trailer, and then I'm just about to kind of head outside the gates and start doing some cool stuff. So
That you already beat the first boss in the game, correct?
Yep.
Okay. Because we're basically at the same point. I played it for about 2 hours. I beat the first boss, and then did all the dialogue into when you get into the main city part, and then that was as far as I got as well.
Yeah, okay, so we're basically at the exact same point.
Yeah, not even kidding. Me personally, I give it like a 6. It's not bad. It just needs some work. I enjoyed my time with it, but there is things that I know that need to be fixed about the game, and that can be patched, and we'll see when it gets there. But it's not terrible from where it stands currently.
Cool.
What do you think? What's your score, sir?
I'd give it a 7.5.
Okay.
It's real good. It says mixed reviews. What are the mixed reviews? What don't people like?
Let's find out. That could have been good if the devs had done some basic quality of life shit, basically. It's all about, like, the game needs patches. Character blocked by objects, no see-through outline, no sense of direction in missions, one graphics setting.
That's fair. Yeah, like, the character outline kind of sucks. Like, if you're trying to find something that's behind a tree, you just have to kind of guess where it is. That's the problem.
Yeah, the environment gets in front of you and then you can't see through it.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's valid. That's valid. All right. What do you got, Ray? What have you been playing?
What have I been playing? Pretty much, the only game I've gotten to this month is Endling.
Okay.
Which you passed me a key for. I haven't played much of it, but it is very, very interesting. Like, it is gripping. I am very interested in continuing more.
Yeah, you know what? This game is one of those games that got buried by Stray. I mean, if Stray wasn't coming out the same day, it probably would have had more people like noticing it. But you know, the little fox cubs couldn't compete with Stray.
Yep, cats rule the internet. We already know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is the proof. Yeah. So you're basically playing a mother fox taking care of her cubs. And you have to, like, train them and feed them and try and save them if they get caught or that kind of stuff. And yeah, I am heavily invested already, and I'm barely like an hour in.
Jess beat the whole thing. I was very impressed. She also got gripped by it a lot. So she definitely gave me a glowing recommendation because I haven't played any of it yet. But she definitely gave me her biggest recommendation. So what do you think about the actual gameplay of the hour you played so far?
So mostly, I mean, it's kind of like a platformer sort of, but you're not like jumping per se. You kind of just interact with the environment, and I haven't unlocked a ton of interactions yet, but so far it's very interesting. It's mostly like a puzzle game where you're kind of figuring out a route around things, or where you can find food for your cubs. And I was actually very interested. For the first while, I wasn't even aware you could feed your cubs garbage, but then I got an achievement that said, "Don't feed your cubs garbage for 6 days straight." I was like, oh.
You know what this game gives me a big vibe of, even though it's a different interpretation of it, is like the traversal of like Inside or Limbo.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense.
So it takes that and does its own survival spin on it.
Yeah.
But that's what made me interested in it, because anything that does that type of formula is automatically going to be interesting, because I find Limbo and Inside to be like two of the greatest traversal games I've ever played. So,
Well, it's always interesting when you limit your gameplay mechanics like this, is it puts a lot of emphasis on the world that you're interacting with and the story. So it's always a very conscious decision, and if done right, it's a very good one.
well, it's good that you're being gripped. Now, do you want to
It's a
put
different game.
do you want to put a grade on it yet, or do you want to wait till you played more?
I would probably feel better waiting till I played more, but I already feel like it's at very least a 5 or a 6
Awesome.
after an hour of playing.
That is great. All right. So my first one is one that I really enjoyed, which is Loopmancer. And don't feel bad. I think this has mostly positive. Never mind. But yeah, this game. I think when I initially checked it out after I finished playing it, I was like, "Am I losing my mind?" Because it was mixed back then. But no, I've really enjoyed my time with Loopmancer. I love the actual time travel loop that they have to go on, but like the choices really do matter. And the variety of weapons and things you can do in the game are insane. Like I had weapons that you would normally never see in a game like this, and they just readily gave them to you all the time. Like I was throwing trowels that you used to dig dirt in a garden, and you had like infinite trowels that you could throw at your enemy. And it was fantastic. Like the amount of crazy weapons that they put at your disposal is amazing. But yeah, like the choices actually matter, and the performance of the game was real fun, real good. The gameplay was real fun, and the story had me gripped by the time I finished playing it for the hour and a half that I did. The game's not super long though. I heard it's only about 8 hours to do a whole entire run. But you can also, believe there is 6 different endings, so there's replayability in the game if you want to go that route. And like I said, the characters are good enough that you actually want to see what happens to them, which is a big bonus for something like this. So, this game is an 8. This game was a lot of fun to play, and I had no issues with it at launch, which is rare these days. And yeah, I had a lot of fun with it, and I can't wait to play some more of it.
Okay.
All right.
Awesome.
I was playing another game that I don't think is on Steam though. It's on Epic.
What is it?
At least the key I have for it is on Epic. It's called This Means Warp.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
That
it is.
sounds familiar. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is like if you liked Overcooked, this is your thing. This is very difficult to play single player. Is what I figured out. It is real difficult actually. Like it's very very hard. But what it is basically you're like defending your starship and you're fighting other people, and you're doing so in the same style of Overcooked, where it's like you've got to bring a bullet to a gun before you can fire the gun. You've got to bring repairs to somewhere before the ship, basically before you start losing too much oxygen and all this kind of stuff. So
Yeah.
there's definitely a this is good, this is fun, but yeah, it's definitely this requires people. I tried to play a single player and it just was not fun at all.
Does it have crossplay with Steam? Does anybody know?
I don't know, actually. Do I have this? Wait, no, sure, I don't have this on Steam, right? I thought I had this on... Oh, I do have it on Steam.
Okay, well, if you need somebody to play it with, you should probably ask the other person who owns it.
Yeah, which is you, right?
Yep, yep, I own it. Yep.
Yeah, we should play this at some point, because it seemed pretty fun. I played an entire total of 6 minutes, and it wasn't that great.
Well, yeah, by yourself, I imagine it's not.
Yeah, it's only not great because it's by yourself. Like, the fact that you can play as a crocodile was pretty fun. But yeah, it's just not good by yourself. It's definitely one of those games that you need to play multiplayer, and it has that kind of overcooked quality that's gonna make it hilarious.
Well, that's great.
It's FTL meets Overcooked.
Yo,
Yeah,
Ray.
basically.
Ray, we should probably have another remote play night where we could do something like this.
Ooh, yeah, that'd be fun.
Especially, we could have James try out Crack Pet Show,
Oh boy.
which is another great game that has remote play. It'd be a lot of fun. All right. If you ever need help checking it out, let me know.
I will do.
All right. Me, on the other hand, I do have one from Epic, which is only ever going to be on Epic, unfortunately. Which is going to make people like Ray go, ugh. I know Ray doesn't like Epic, right?
I'm waiting for it to show up, and then I can go,
Well, it's Arcade Again.
So,
Yeah. There you go. Yeah. I feel better now, thanks.
You're welcome.
Well, Arcade Again is one of the funnest games that I've played all year so far.
Ooh. Is that a spoiler for later?
Yeah, one of. one of.
One of. Ooh.
No.
yeah.
I compare it to Risk of Rain, but in a third-person combat mode. Okay, well, the Risk of Rain's third-person, but okay. A more Fortnite art-style version of Risk of Rain.
Yeah, that's fair.
But it's very fun, and you can play 4-player co-op. It's cross-platform between everything. So if you're on Epic, Xbox, PlayStation, Switch, the whole nine, you can play with your friends. And it's also a fantastic game that rewards you to keep playing through the loops. So besides just cosmetics, which I could give a shit less about. Hey, how's it going, Dan? I find it to be very, very reminiscent of Risk of Rain, to the fact that, like, the more risk you take, the more rewards you actually get. So, a run consists of anywhere up to 7 levels. And in those 7 levels, if you get a high enough combo, you can fight a boss. And if you defeat all 4 bosses during the course of your 7 levels, you complete an actual run. Complete it, which means you get all rewards and extra, redeemable products for that run. The problem is that the bosses are incredibly difficult. So it is a certain risk, unless you have incredible gear on at the moment, for you to actually try and take on all these bosses in one run. So yeah, it's totally about, trying to find gear, trying to level up, trying to, build up your attributes that can stay permanent over the whole entire course of the game. It's an incredibly fun game. Because it's on Epic, obviously it's going to be harder to get people to jump on board. But if you have a console and you have friends that want to play along with you, it's very convenient in that regard. And I give it a 9 because I had a fantastic time with this game. Me and my son have played quite a bit of it, and we definitely want to play more. So,
You guys look like you're enjoying it quite.
oh yeah, it's a lot of fun. Especially just going around with a baseball bat, clocking people around. And you can make it so the baseball bat actually causes explosive damage with every third hit. So it's great.
Boom!
Yeah, it's great. Alright, so what has anybody else got? I know Ray only has one.
Dan's here. We can do the other joke game now.
Oh yeah, wait, yeah, Dan. Sorry, we were waiting for you.
So, the other joke game was Dan the Immortal.
Hey, we got a Dan game. mean, it's a game.
Dan wants to reach the top to drink the fountain of mortality.
Mortality.
Mortality, yes. As you can see, it is one of those like getting over it style jumping, like Jump King games. But the way your character jumps is by throwing a grenade at their feet and blowing themselves up.
I mean, who wants to live forever anyway, right? That's it.
So now we have proof Dan is immortal.
Yep, we have now proved it. All right. All right. So, does anyone else have any other games that they've played this month? I know.
Speak up, and I'll speak up at once.
I was gonna say I know Ray has it, but I was talking about you, James. Do you have any more games?
Usual things.
Okay, just the usual stuff.
Yeah, just the usual things that I've been playing, like Counter-Strike and all that kind of stuff.
All right, the last.
It's especially spectacular.
All right, the last one
one thing I did get back on. One thing I did get back on was Among Us. I've been playing quite a bit of Among Us again.
Nice. We've played plenty of Among Us here, and we played Goose Goose Duck a lot. Both of them are very fun.
Yes.
And yeah, I've seen you've been playing a lot of games. Star Wars: Knights of the Old Republic, #1 again.
The old classic one?
Yeah, Knights of the Old Republic mainly because I'm real sad that they canned the remake.
Oh yeah, because
basically
the Spire ran out of money, and basically said, okay, well,
some people and
yeah. Thought the game was
reevaluating things.
Thought the game was going to come out in holiday of 2022. The developers thought maybe sometime in 2025. Yeah, that's an issue in communication, I would say.
Yeah, they did a demo that was real expensive, and they were like, "Oh, we can't actually keep this up. We can't have this much costing going over this much time." So yeah.
I thought Sony was funding that project. I actually thought that PlayStation was funding that.
Yeah, there's an exclusive to PlayStation, that's been signed, so it is likely that it'll come out.
Just when?
It's funny, it's probably on indefinite hold. It's on indefinite hold, but it should be coming out. Because of that signed agreement, it's unlikely that it'll get full cancelled.
It's kind of like Skull and Bones.
Don't have to wait. So I'm back to playing #1.
Like Skull and Bones, they signed a deal with the Singapore government to put the game out, and that's why we're sitting here 8 years after initial announcement, and it's finally coming out in September. That's why. All right, my last game is Tale of Biston, which I was very shocked by this game. Okay, so to clarify, I had no idea about the origin of this character beforehand, but essentially what it is you are playing as Biston, which is a guy who has a mythical stone carver who did art for all the gods, and basically through this you're trying to recover your memories through passages and going into other realms to find your memories that were lost. And it gets really dark towards the end of it, to the point where I'm pretty sure my character will die, but I'm not 100% positive. But it's basically, the more you find out about your character, the more you find out that you were not a good person. And it makes you want to play more and more. It's got a very basic loop, though. You go out, you defeat a whole bunch of evil enemies, and then you return to this tree that you're trying to save all of its brethren, and then it progresses on the story, which doesn't sound very engaging, but the story makes you engaged enough where all of the other things that you do feel worth it, I should say. And the idea that you're basically a stone carver that can carve anything out of stone is pretty amazing. And I have to say, the narration of the game is top notch. I mean, it is really, really good. So even though this game is extremely cheap, I think it's $17.99. I think it is totally worth that price. Totally worth it. And I give it a 8 out of 10 from what I played of it so far. But I did play quite a bit of the game, and it seems to have a lot going on and a lot going for it. So I totally recommend it if you want to check out something on the different end of the spectrum when it comes to mythological gods and stuff like that. If you don't need your God of War or God of Boy, this is a nice smaller budget version of something like that. But yeah, I wanted to mention something real quick I read this morning that before we go on to our topic. So I was reading this morning that Sony leaked an internal memo. Well, somebody leaked an internal memo from Sony.
Ooh.
And Sony is trying to block the deal of Microsoft acquiring Activision. And I thought it was very funny the reason why. Now, obviously, monopolies and antitrust issues aside, I get that part, right? But basically, from what I understand, Sony has tried to intervene, saying that it would take them years and millions of dollars for them to actually be able to catch up to Microsoft if the acquisition was to go through. Yeah, but creating a high-end triple-end game like Activision's Call of Duty requires a budget of hundreds of millions of dollars and thousands of employees. They say that Activision, there are few developers capable of producing AAA games, and if the developer was acquired, Sony believes it could not create a franchise to rival Activision's Call of Duty, which is why they're trying to block the acquisition from occurring.
Sounds like they're being a bit sore loser.
This is after they acquired Bungie.
They're like, oh, we bought one, but we don't want you buying one.
Yeah, the big headline out of it, Sony worries players could jump to Xbox if Microsoft acquires Call of Duty. No shit. Why do you think they're buying? Why do you think they're buying it? Yeah, like...
Well, it makes me wonder, what did they think, like,
Good job.
Bungie was gonna make another Destiny and start a new franchise over there? Like, I don't...
Well, I think the big thing is I feel like there is a bit of hypocrisy, right? And I take this from an outside perspective because I have no reason to care about exclusives or consoles, right? But I will say this, like, Sony can go out and they have every single Square Enix game pretty much locked as exclusive, right? Because
pretty much
they have a relationship with them, and it pretty much makes it so Xbox doesn't get any of them. They've tried to block. They have third-party exclusives. They have first-party exclusives. But whenever Xbox does an exclusive, it's not an exclusive because it's coming to PC.
Right.
We're not complaining. As PC people are not complaining.
Game Pass.
Yeah, Sony people hate Game Pass for some reason, even though now Sony has their own version of Game Pass and their PS Plus. It's very strange. Like, it seems like when Microsoft makes a move to, compete with Sony, it's not fair. But Sony fanboys and Sony fans in general are like, oh, they should buy Square Enix. Well, then that would be the same thing as Microsoft buying Blizzard and Activision, or them buying Bethesda. Like, you want everything bought up by these two? I don't. I'm not even a fan of the acquisition of Activision by Microsoft. But I think it's fair if you want to say it. Like, Sony can go out and buy Bungie, but Microsoft can't buy another studio as well. I mean, I'm sorry, if you really like Destiny 2, then great. Sony has now bought them. But if you think that Sony's going to make Destiny 2 single platform and make it exclusive, then you're an idiot, because then they would lose tons of money. Just like beyond Starfield, I don't think that all Bethesda games going forward are going to be only on Xbox. I really don't think so. I don't think that taking franchises that have been around forever and making them exclusive is the best market for either Sony or Microsoft. But I guarantee you Sony will do it just so their ponies can be like, hey, we got one up on you. Because they love their exclusives. They live and die by that shit. And you know what? Xbox has none. Because you can't say anything's exclusive anymore. Because if it comes to PC, it's not exclusive. That means Spider-Man's not exclusive. That means The Last of Us isn't going to be exclusive. That means that, all these games that Sony's releasing are no longer exclusive either. I wish they would stop pretending that, right? Like, the only things that are going to be exclusive is when the game first comes out and probably the first 6 months to a year till they port it. So, because Sony needs to make money too. And if you heard anything about the last week about the earnings report for either company, they're both losing money. Because now we're not in the middle of a pandemic anymore, people are going back outside. So the giant boom in video game sales, because people were stuck in their house all day, is over. So there's going to be a lull or a drop in sales of video games. So they're going to have to worry about putting out better products instead of just putting out products. I'm sorry that, they're going to actually have to try and create things now. Or, like the fact that, in general, companies have become lazy and they rely more and more on remaking or reselling you old properties instead of making anything new. Because they find that to be less profitable, or a guaranteed profit is not there on a new IP. And then people bitch that we have no originality left in video games. But on the other hand, they'll spend $70 on buying The Last of Us Part 1 for the third time in 10 years. So, it's weird. I find...
Like the 50th version of Skyrim.
Yeah, it's the same thing on both sides. Like, if you defend the idea that the Elder Scrolls or The Last of Us have been released that many times, you're part of the problem, and then don't complain there's no new IPs or new ingenious or innovative ideas out there. Because they feel like they can just sell you the same shit and then just guarantee to roll back money. So, I find the arguments about gaming companies to be funny because they're all doing the same thing, and people just buy it up and then stand on the side and act like they're right. It's very strange. Yeah. It's very strange. Like, even as me, like, I look at Steam, I look at Epic, I look at Battle.net, I look at Ubisoft, I look at all these companies, and I'm like, none of them are any better than the other. I mean, yeah, Steam has, like, the most accessible or the easiest to use platform to download a game. But I don't think Steam personally gives a shit about me and how many games I have on my Steam account. Just like, no other company cares. I'm just a number and a piece of profit to them all. So, to act like any company really has your back in any of this is bullshit. So I just look for the most consumer-friendly thing, and that's why I champion Game Pass so much, and people are like, well, that's a Microsoft product. Well, if Sony or Nintendo or Steam or EA or anything else put a service out there with anything like that, then of course I would appreciate it as well. Now that's out of the way. Sorry about that.
No worries.
So do you want to start with the worst or the best? I think we should start with the worst, because the worst...
Worst, yeah. Always end on a high note.
Yeah, the worst is always more fun.
Right.
It's okay.
It can be hard to choose.
All right, so I'm gonna choose James and put him on the spot. James, what was the most disappointing game you've played this year?
So far.
The most so far. I guess out of all the kind of ones that we kind of talked about, I guess the 25 North 71 West was real bad. That was, and look, like I haven't played it. And it's had a few updates, but it was real bad. I thought it was going to be at least some way decent. It was not.
The price of this is fucking ridiculous when you think about it.
Yes. So yeah, that is quite easily the worst game this year. It's not even close.
Yeah, think about it. I'm going to talk more Ray and Dan about this overall. Guys, think about the games that you've bought for this price before. And like, Tell me that this game looks anything like something that you would buy for that. I believe I bought Slay the Spire on sale for $11.99. I bought. Wait.
Good guys.
What was that game that we Core Keeper, right? I paid $10 for Core Keeper. just to quantify, right? Like,
Yeah. I mean,
Yep.
I've played free games that are a little better done than this.
like I don't have a problem if you want to experiment and this is like your first game you ever made. I have no problem with that. But I feel like the price is just outrageous considering.
Yeah, asking for money when this feels like baby's first game project, game project, and that's you're gonna be putting work into it, yes, but you're also putting that work and comparing it to people who've been doing this for a while. I don't know if you could justify putting a price tag on it at all, much less at price tag.
That's a very key question, Dan. How did this even get on Steam? The amount of games that make me ask that question every month when I look through games is unbearable. Like they used to have that Steam, what was it, Greenlight program?
Oh yeah.
It seems like now they just let anything flow through. You know?
They don't even call it Greenlight anymore.
To be honest, I also did not pay for this game, right? Like, I got a key for this game.
Thank you for giving me more faith, man. I was gonna say, if you could look at this and be like, $12, no, it's pretty bad.
Well, I mean, to be fair,
no.
on that end, that means there's a key mailing site that's handing out keys for this game. Like,
Keymailer, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, okay,
how did this make it on that?
They'll fuck it. They don't have any curation. They just put everything.
Oh, anything?
Okay. Yeah. That's why you have to dig. You have to dig through that site too. Oh, what they say? They gave me somebody offered me a game key for a game called Potato Turd last week.
Wow.
Last week, yeah. So
that's the title.
Yeah. So don't worry. It's not just him. All right. What's your?
I mean, I suppose in this case, you can't complain if you find out that it's a crap game, right?
Yeah, true. So what's your worst game of the year so far, right?
That's always a tough one. Let's put this in perspective. I have not played a ton of games this year, and I try not to play bad games. So just because this is on the lowest on my list does not mean it's a bad game.
Well, remember, it's most disappointing, to be fair.
Right, most disappointing. I was very disappointed with the ending of Eiyuden Chronicles Rising. Like, I get that it's supposed to be kind of a prelude to a game that they're coming out with soon, but that ending was so unsatisfying. It was very open-ended and very like, hey, you should go play the sequel.
Yeah.
It's not yet, but you should go play it.
I mean, let's not be too surprised, right?
No, we shouldn't. But yeah, I to be fair, I had not heard about this fundraiser or the what do they have? They had the game was crowdfunded, right?
Yes.
And they were just celebrating. Yeah, their Kickstarter anniversary, their 2-year Kickstarter anniversary was at the end of last month.
So, I mean, like, it seems like that is a prequel, which they did a pretty good job. The art style's amazing.
It is a very well-made game. It is fun.
But
it has a decent amount of content in it, too. It's not like a short, like, particularly short game. I got through it in about 17.5 hours. And you can go in afterwards and play it on hard.
Yeah.
And there's still achievements I haven't gotten and a couple things I haven't unlocked, but for the most part I think I've made it through most of the content now. But yeah, it's very clearly, by the time you get to the end of it, it's like very clearly it kind of wraps up its own story loosely and then leaves a fairly decently sized thread to continue in the game they're putting out soon.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't heard a release date. It might be delayed. I don't know, but like, yeah, it's supposed to come out later this year.
Yeah. So, that was disappointing, but it is still definitely an enjoyable game.
Okay.
Now, depending on how important this background is for their coming game, it may just be better to wait for their coming game and play that, because if that plays like this, that will probably be a fantastic game. Much better than this. So, if you enjoy this kind of game, go right ahead. It's great. But be prepared to also want to play their coming game.
Yeah, exactly.
That's got the rest of the story.
When it comes out, they should probably bundle it together with the first part.
That would be very nice, actually. That would be very smart of them, too.
Alright, so my most disappointing game of the first part of the year, well, I've got, like, honorable mentions. We'll do the main one first, which is the Waylanders.
Waylanders, right.
Waylanders is from a development team that was originally around, what was it? Mass Effect and around Elder Scrolls. And this is like a team built up of all those veterans from those teams. And they put out a game that looks interesting and has a pretty decent story, but then everything else is absolute garbo. The actual gameplay feels like you're playing an MMO from like 2003. It's got like that very MMO like combat that isn't combat type thing going on.
Press your buttons.
Yeah.
Watch timers. Don't stand in the big red circle.
So like, unfortunately, the most important part of an RPG is killed by this game because you don't want to play the combat. The combat's terrible. So if the combat's terrible and the movement's terrible, it doesn't matter what you put around it. It's just terrible. Like, they've patched this game a lot since release, and it's still... I went back and checked before I put this on the list and made sure it was still bad. It's still bad. So...
That is unfortunate. From that kind of a pedigree to end up mediocre sound is really tragic.
And it was $35, so like it's not a cheap game either.
Little lemon juice in the paper cut there. Yeah.
Yeah. So okay, I'm gonna quickly go through my honorable mentions, those because these were both games I was looking forward to. Yeah, that did pretty bad as well. $30, okay, for Winter Ember. Winter Ember is made by some of the people that made Assassin's Creed, okay? And this is a stealth game from them. And I thought, wow, this looks like something I'll enjoy. The opening cutscene is fully animated. It's like 10 minutes long, looks fantastic. But unfortunately, the gameplay is yet again where the game falters immensely. Like, the traversal is terrible. The movement is terrible. And just like we were talking about in Axiom, the environment will get in front of your character and you will die unnecessarily because you can't see what is attacking you. And there's no way to turn the camera. So you can't turn the camera to find out where you're going. So you just die over and over and over again. So...
that sounds horrible.
And like I said, these are mostly disappointing because they cost a lot of money, come from very good pedigree, and just were DOA, just dead on arrival. And they weren't something I think these companies can come back from, because neither one of the games have really improved since then. And lastly, because this one definitely needs some more attention to how bad it is, the $40 game, MX vs. ATV Legends.
Oh, yeah.
Which is the infamous tank cam game, as I call it, because one of the games, I started a race and the camera zoomed into my rider's taint, and would not come out, so I was stuck trying to drive with tank cam the whole entire race. That's the type of shit that happened every single... The game crashed endlessly, the camera went wonky, the motor sounds either didn't work or the music would go up and down in volume all over the place. It was a technical masterpiece of how not to make a fucking game. So, it was pretty fucking bad. And yet again, it was one of the things where I don't care how much they patch it, it's still a pretty shit game. So, there is my most disappointing. So, let's talk about the ones we actually do like. I like talking about good stuff once in a while, too. So, what's your favorite game of 2022 so far, James?
My favorite game of 2022 is Planet Crafter. That's
somehow I'm not surprised,
pretty-
and I feel like I should have seen this coming.
pretty hands down. Yeah, it just got a new update as well. Like
really?
yesterday. So there's now insects and waterfalls came out. So now there's 3 more biomes. There's butterflies that you can make. You can do farms outside. Yeah. So they've been doing a lot of updates on these. These are 2 people. Amelie and Bryce from France. They're like, literally, she does all the art. He does all of the. He does all of the dev. He's like the only dev.
Wow.
It's fantastic, honestly. If you have not bought this game, buy this game. It is such a good time sink. I am about to start some more YouTube videos. Now that there's the update, I'm going to be starting like a hardcore Let's Play YouTube thing when I get back home. So that's going to be fun.
No, Dan, they did...
This is easily my favorite game.
No, Dan, they didn't make enough false promises for it to be anything No Man's anything. He's make No Man's Craft, No Man's Nautica. It's not that way because
It's not underwater. There's not Subnautica.
Well, it doesn't have traversal either, right? You don't leave the planet, correct?
You can get underwater though if you build your base in the wrong place and then you drown. Basically.
Oh, I mean,
you can't actually. The funny thing is you can't actually drown, but you also just can't build anything else either. So like you kind of have to move your base above ground, which is basically the rookie mistake that everyone makes. Is I'm gonna build my base in this beautiful starting area, and then like as you're going through the terraformation, you're like, why is there a lake forming? Why is there a lake for? Oh my god. Okay, well now I have to find my base. Now I have to build my base above the water.
I will say the reviews definitely agree with you about the quality of the game because it has overwhelmingly positive with 11,000 reviews. That is very impressive.
Yeah.
So Tim, I can't be the only one that when he said they added bugs to the game, the first thing I thought of was EDF size.
I know, right? That would be a great addition. Need mutated bugs. Need the pill bugs. That's...
This game is also. This game is also. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Not the pill bugs. This game is also great because there's no PVE. Like the environment.
Oh, it's
There's
not
no
aggressive.
like environment trying to like. There's no hostiles or enemies or guns or anything, right? No,
So
like
it's
you
much
need
more
oxygen,
relaxing than
food, and air. Oxygen, food, and water. So.
Yeah, so it's more of like literally just a building game than anything else. Well, that's cool. Hey, and at least I'm glad it ended up being really good because I remember you were really pumped for it before it even came out. So you did not get disappointed, sir. All right, what's your favorite, Ray?
What was my favorite? I mean,
And what's your favorite, Dan?
at this point, I'd say it's like up to either Endling or Core Keeper. I think I'm gonna have to go with Core Keeper right now, just because I've played more Core Keeper. But yeah, Core Keeper's been a lot of fun as like another kind of Terraria style survival game with friends. And me and Murmur still haven't even gone back to it yet, and they've added one of the new biomes. so we're gonna have to go back to it at some point.
It is such a relaxing game to play, honestly, because you can either play it like super aggressive, or you can just like enjoy the game for what it is.
Yeah, just kind of like farm, mine, fish.
Yeah, I enjoy it quite a bit. And any game that allows me to fish, I automatically like. So.
That's true.
Yeah. What did you do in this game? I went fishing. I would say that is good contender, Dan. I've heard a lot of people say a lot of good things about the Stanley Parable Ultra Edition. But nice. I am glad you enjoyed that game. I also enjoyed it as well. And they've been adding things at a very nice rate to keep people invested in.
It's not too fast, but it's definitely they're not being too slow about it either.
Well, as long as they add little things, man. As long as it keeps people invested and keeps people coming back, the game will do fine. Because the problem with games that go into early access and are really popular, like Core Keeper was, is that like if you can't keep up with the people, then they leave the game. And
Valheim's another one like that.
Yeah, Valheim, people have been waiting.
Oh, Valheim's terrible for that.
Yeah, Valheim's been taking a very long time to get anything else in the game. And now they got other teams working on Xbox ports and everything else. And I feel like that's going to be another year and a half before we see like a substantial amount of extra content. I mean, you might get an update too.
They keep posting about like, oh hey, our next update's gonna have this in it. It's gonna have this in it, and then it's like, yeah, okay, where is the next update?
Yeah, I'd agree, Dan. Like, if you're going in early access, you either have to do it in the sense of making it so you don't give up everything so people don't feel like they've played everything and don't come back to it, or you have to have enough of the game complete where you can get it out in a reasonable time. You know, games that are spend 5 years in early access are terrible.
Escape from Tarkov. That's what Planet Crafter does really well. Is they're like, in 2 months we'll have an update, and there is an update, and they constantly like update little things throughout, and then there's like a big update. So that's something that they do well.
Yeah, you get.
Well, for them, I'm sure it's pretty easy because they only have 2 people working on it, so it's like they know probably what they could get done in a reasonable amount of time. Like, it's not so much of I have a team of 15 people and I've got a guarantee from 3 of them that they can get their part done, but the rest of them are a little iffy on whether we can get it out in time, and then you have to coordinate a bunch of things, and then somebody gets sick or.
So for my favorite, I got it split into my favorite AAA game and my favorite indie because I feel like it's not fair to compare the two. My favorite AAA game was Tiny Tina's Wonderlands. I mean, it's not even close. Like, it's a fucking hilarious and fun game in Borderlands with magic. I mean, you can't.
Borderlands sequel everybody wanted, not the one that
exactly
got, right?
But you know, the spells, like, honestly, make it so much of a refreshed experience, rather than like the same shit and everything, and especially like. The way they took the D&D aspect of it and just went off the wall with it and let the Tiny Tina character just be crazy, it's fantastic. I love everything about it. I hate the fact that the DLC sounds like it's not very good, but it's something you don't have to buy. If the main game's really good, then why the hell do I care about DLC I'm not required to buy? Yeah, you mean I don't have to spend extra money to enjoy the game? Okay, that's great.
Huzzah.
Yeah. But yeah, it's definitely the return of Borderlands in a much better fashion than Borderlands 3. On the indie aspect, though, it's not even close for me, actually. And I know this is like a game out of nowhere for most people, but Ravita is definitely my favorite. It came... Yeah, it is a roguelike game, where basically you...
this one.
Yes, where you basically use an elevator to try and climb up towers and get yourself out of eternal hell. Because basically every time you die, you get brought back down to the bottom, and you have to work your way up. And it is one of the most, how do I say, invigorating and one more round or one more run type game that I have played since Slay the Spire. Slay the Spire will always be like that game where it's like, one more run. One more try. One more. I gotta do one more.
Too long? What? I've got like 2 hours for...
Yeah, I could sleep. I could sleep. I could sleep an extra, one less hour tonight. It's fine. Let's play one more. You know, like I have.
Hours later.
Listen, I have Slay the Spire on mobile now, and it is a fucking curse because I play the shit out of that. But no, this game is definitely like that, and they put a lot of care and a lot of effort into it, and it is incredible. I have to say, like, it is one of the best roguelike games I have played in a very long time. Because there is a lot of games like this, but this game outshines all of them. And the fact that nothing in the game costs currency, it's all just based on your life, is also a very interesting mechanic as well.
Very much so.
Yeah, so that way you don't have to worry about, like, oh, I can't afford it. No, it's like, should I really do this? I'll only have 2 hearts of life left, you know. It's risk and reward.
It adds a... It simplifies things and adds a new dynamic to all of your purchasing decisions, because now it's all of your purchases are going to have a negative cost.
And I have a feeling...
than just the money you earned.
And I have a feeling, obviously, this game won't hold up for the rest of the year as my favorite. But it's definitely worth it for the first half of 2022. Along with my second option, which is... hold on. Rogue Legacy 2. Which is another roguelike game. But this is, like, from a pedigree. Rogue Legacy 1 was an amazing game, and this basically takes that and, you know, bumps everything up, you know, to 1,000. It's a very frustrating game. It's much more difficult than Revita, but it has so much you can do with it, especially with the fact that based on the decisions you make and the ancestry that you choose, you build a character completely in the lineage that you want. So you're literally making characters based on whatever, you know, mate you choose to hook up with during that generation, and then when you die, the next generation takes over. And it is fantastic. They did an amazing job with it. And well played for taking all that Epic Games money, using it to get through the early access period, and then releasing in 1.0 on Steam the day that it was ready. And having it come out on Steam completely done. Kudos to them for being smart enough to do that. Because it was in early access for like a year and a half, and they took that Epic Games money, and they did good work with it. So, and they even said without the Epic Games money, they wouldn't have been able to make the game. So, whatever. Be smart about it. But it's a fantastic game. I would recommend it to anybody, and it's not really that expensive. It's $25. And it is a very polished and great experience. Alright.
So you're saying it's definitely, you know, worth twice as more as that other game that I had like 20
yeah.
It's like half the price of
that's what I'm saying. No, you understand, out of the games we mentioned, Revita is $2 more. And Core Keeper is less. Core Keeper is less.
So, if you have the money and have the option of buying 2 copies of James's game or 1 copy of Rogue Legacy 2, you should probably get Rogue Legacy 2.
Yes.
In case that wasn't obvious.
Yes.
Yeah.
I own Rogue Legacy 2 on Epic, but still, doesn't matter. I got it on a really cheap sale. You know, like, I don't know if you guys know about the Epic Game sales, but they used to give out like $10 vouchers every time you'd buy a game. You'd get another $10 voucher. So I got Rogue Legacy 2 for like, I think $4 on sale. It was amazing.
Nice.
Say what you want about Epic Game Store, but they basically are like, please buy stuff from us, and they will give you insane deals. Alright, so now it is my favorite part of the podcast, where we get to talk about the games that are coming up over the next month. And thankfully these guys knocked some of the stuff off my list, but my god, my list is still pretty fucking long.
I feel like this month has been very good. Like there's
some
good looking stuff coming out.
Yeah, I'm happy I came back this month because man, there's a lot of good stuff to play. So I'm gonna let these guys go first. I'm gonna do 2 every time they do 1, so that way it doesn't end up with me with a whole shit ton at the end.
Sounds good.
All right. I'll start.
Yeah.
I have Turbo Golf Racing.
Oh yeah, I know, right? Oh my god, I'm so excited for that. Especially since...
Oh, sorry, should I do a bit more announcer? Turbo Golf Racing.
I'm excited, man. It's coming to Game Pass day 1. I'm ready.
We can tell you're not on your streaming because you don't have all the voice effects on, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't have my voice mod.
Well, you know what?
Racing.
Thankfully, I got to watch somebody play this yesterday because they got like early access to the game and they were playing it on Twitch. It does look like amazing fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that. Considering how much you like, what's it called?
No, you want an actual comparison, Ray? It's like Sonic Racing in Rocket League had a baby.
Right, Rocket League. So
Yeah.
It looks like it has that kind of Rocket League control feel to it, but you're doing a completely different game mode.
Rocket too.
I'm saying it looks so fun.
Rocket League, so.
Oh yeah, that's my most played game on Steam. Yeah.
This actually does look really good, like especially for anybody who likes Rocket League for like its controls and gameplay, but maybe doesn't like the PvP aspect or the competitive.
Yeah, golf at league with friends, exactly.
Like this looks like it'd be even more fun.
Yes, it's a lot of fun. I was watching 8 people go at it yesterday. It was insane. I loved it. 8 players in one match. It's great.
I'm excited for this.
Yeah. All right. So
I see what you mean with Sonic Transform. They do like fly.
Yeah. And they have like missiles you can get and everything else. Yeah. So it's. All right. So what's your first one, Ray?
Let's look at Boat Crew.
Okay. All right.
Not the most graphically high fidelity game, but it looked like it played well, and it might have an interesting setting and story to it. You're managing a little PT boat in the Pacific War against Japan.
It doesn't look bad.
Yeah.
Graphical fidelity isn't everything. It's just like, do you want it to look like shit?
Right.
Honestly, it looks like Legos.
It does kind of look like Legos, or like what was that crappy like competitor Legos that?
Shit, I can't remember.
Duplex?
No, that was I thought Duplex was Legos.
No, I don't know. Connects? No.
No. I forget it. Anyway, some blocks. I don't know. Anyway.
It's Roblox. No.
No.
But no, it looks interesting. I have to say.
Yeah. I'd be interested to see how much of a story it has to it, or if it's just more for the gameplay.
Yeah, it says campaign, so hopefully, hopefully
it is single player, so no multiplayer to that.
All right. So remember,
you don't drive a boat.
All right. So remember, the rules are if you follow or wishlist someone else's game, you have to let them know. Ray didn't give me that time, but that was close actually. I did enjoy that.
Don't worry, I've got at least 2 later on that you have no chance of escaping.
Okay, so I've really grown to love narrative games. So my first one is South of the Circle.
Okay.
It basically follows the story of colleagues at Cambridge academics that basically become engulfed in the Cold War.
Oh.
Things in the Antarctic have been a little strange recently.
Fully voice acted.
What else here?
Yeah.
Search me. Why don't you take a look out?
So I'd like you to keep an eye out. You would tell me if you saw anything suspicious, wouldn't you? I can trust you on that.
It looks fantastic.
Absolutely. You can trust me.
Glad to.
Oh my god, he's shooting at me. You suspect something's going on?
Something must be going on. But I can't put my finger on it.
Hey, stop shooting, you mad fool! Here you are.
Well, that's cool.
You mean the Cold War is in, like, it's actually cold?
Both.
Yes.
Yes, and yes.
Looks pretty chilly down there.
It's so much better at night, don't you think?
Oh, it's beautiful.
I just love the art style they go with this as well.
Mm-hmm.
Peter, you're safe.
Good. Through love and the desire to keep our promises.
So that comes out the 3rd.
Similar to games you played, Road 96.
If it's anything like Road 96, I'll fucking love it. Road 96 was great. All right, this is gonna be fucking strange.
All right, Tim. What do you got?
Okay, Kokoro, Clover Season 1.
Really?
So before anybody gets to me,
see this scrolled past it a little bit.
okay, it is a 2D platformer based on Sunday morning cartoon Japanese anime shows.
I can see that.
So it's based on
Clearly.
yeah. So it's got transformations, cars, dancing, and robots, but it's like basically Mega Man but Japanese anime Sunday morning cartoons.
My God.
Yes,
Okay.
that is apparent. That is very apparent.
Yeah.
Doesn't it look great?
It looks like Japanese Sunday morning cartoons.
I thought it looked interesting. I'm sorry.
No, that's not bad. That looks good.
I'm the weird guy. I like weird games. I'm okay with that. I just like anything that involves like morning cartoons. I'm like a sucker for. Like that Dino was it Spider Soars game that I mentioned last month. Me and my son ended up playing it. It's basically Contra, but a Saturday morning cartoon art style. It's so good. But I haven't played. I didn't want to review it because I haven't played enough of it. Like we're about halfway through.
All
All right, you guys are up.
Sure, I'll go. I have one called Chess versus Chat. I want to see other people play this first. I'm not gonna lie. Before I bring this into my channel. But this is basically, if you're a streamer on Twitch, you can have chat play chess for you or against you. I'm not exactly sure how.
All right, Dan.
That was a bit unclear, but yeah, they tell you what moves to make, and you do the moves, and chat controls what's happening.
That's not fair. I want checkers versus chat.
Nah, I'm a chess guy, so I'm fine with chess.
Chinese checkers.
And here I was going to make a joke about James going to be streaming this next on his channel, but sounds like he's going to wait and see.
Aw, man.
Yeah, this is a wait. Look, I get it. I'm a big chess nut, but this is definitely wait and see. I'm also thinking this is one of those games that needs a much more active chat than I have.
Yeah.
It's like if you either have like a tiny chat with chess experts and you don't have fun, or you have a huge chat with a bunch of people who have no idea what they're doing and it gets crazy.
True.
So
Yeah.
That's definitely a wait and see, though. I mean, that might actually be good. Who knows?
yeah.
So that's where I'm at. That's what I'm kind of hoping is gonna be good.
If you know
I'm
any
gonna- yeah.
big streamers, give them a poke and show them this, because maybe they'll see it and they'll enjoy it.
Yeah.
And then we can see what it's like.
And I mean,
We need Angry
it's
Joe to
definitely
play
one of
it.
those games. You remember when like all these streamers were playing chess.com and like you could play them and stuff?
Yep.
That's what this needs. Like this needs a big ass streamer to be playing this, and then you Gucci.
Yeah, that's true. Because then it would blow up. Because then someone else watches
And
them
then
play
everybody else starts playing it, and then, yeah.
it. Yeah. That's why I'm still mad about Hyperbox Uncharged. I mean
Hypercharged Unboxed, yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Sorry. Jesus.
Dyslexia is showing.
Yeah, I know. What the hell's wrong with me? But no, like that. We played that so long, and now that game blew up so much. It's crazy. All right. So what's your next one, Ray?
Let's take a look at Red Shot. I believe you had this on your list too, Tim.
Yep.
And I did think of you when I saw this, so. Only fair.
Did you say Metroidvania? Oh yeah, this is definitely going on my list.
He's already following it.
Yeah, I'm already following it.
Yeah, I like the bullet time Metroidvania. It was an interesting touch.
Yeah, this is a game where if you didn't take time to look at the trailer, you probably would not even bother with it. But once I saw the trailer, I was like, "Fuck yeah, I definitely want to play something like that."
See, on the other hand, all I did was look at the pixel art, and it was like, no, that looks good, pixel art. Let's look at it. We'll look at it in a bit. And it was like, oh, hey, yeah, no, this is good.
Similar to games you've played, 30XX. I'm not really sure about that one, but yeah.
I mean, it's a shooter and platformer, so I guess they got it kind of right. I think there's a bit of a different inspiration, though.
Oh, there it is. Okay, it was one word. My next one is Void Crisis.
See, I actually looked at this too, and I was tempted to bring it up.
Yeah, it's a mech tower defense game.
No, tower offense game.
True. Not defense, offense, yeah. I thought this would totally be right up your alley, right?
I mean, it is, but this is like... This is one of those territories where it's like you see a game like this and it looks really high quality.
But it's probably not.
Well, in my head it's like,
You're
okay,
suspicious.
this looks too high quality, you know? Like, this is too good looking for such a simple sounding concept, and then, like, it seems... I was almost wondering if it's not a mobile port of a game.
Possible.
But at the same time, it does look very good. I would keep this on my radar, but I'm gonna be apprehensive still.
Exactly.
But it looks very good. It looks too good.
You should always be apprehensive of every game if you want to be honest. Like, that's why I preach, like, please just wait and see what the game actually looks like before you buy anything. Not that
Even
hard.
when we bring things up here, like, I think many of us have pretty good taste and can see potential in games, but seeing potential and things being good and coming out good are very different things. Do not just go and pre-order what we tell you looks good.
Alright, how about...
Don't do that.
How about Lost Light?
Lost Light. Isn't that a Destiny 2 DLC?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this is...
Actually not jokes.
This is actually from NetEase, which is a pretty big studio, so...
That is a pretty big studio. So is it like a SWAT game, or...?
It's a realistic war simulator.
Oh, so it's like Arma.
Tarkov, just not?
So it's like an Arma game?
Yeah, it's pretty much like Arma. And I thought it actually looks very well polished, even though it's going into early access. At least
I guess that's another one to keep an eye on.
I say NetEase is at least a big enough of a studio where I think they could pull this off and not completely fuck it up. Will they? I don't know, but we could try. I mean, like, we could.
Is this like? Hold on, scroll down again to the. like to the videos. This looks kind of like Tarkov, right?
A little bit.
It's a warfare
Yeah.
survival.
Yeah, you scavenge for supplies, you get out, yeah. Yeah. This looks pretty Tarkov-y, but I'd be interested to see how this plays. Is it multiplayer as well?
Well, I mean, it kind of had to be, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it's online
I
multiplayer.
assume so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I'm interested to see.
I'm pretty sure it's gonna be free to play, so you're not gonna have to worry
Ooh,
about.
If it's free to play, that's good.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure with the in-app purchases, it's gonna be free to play. So
Oh, yeah.
That might be a bigger make or break for it than its actual gameplay. If it's free and has decent monetization that isn't intrusive, that would be
yeah, that'd be a big one.
highly appealing to many people, I'm sure.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so what's next? What's next, James?
Interesting. What's
Is it big enough
next
for wish list?
is...
Oh, yeah,
Spire.
What's that?
Oh yeah, I should add this to wish list.
Oh yeah. Okay.
I'm gonna hit you with one called City Eye.
City
Yeah,
There you go.
City Eye.
Yep, this is the one
In
where.
the world of City Eye,
Yeah, this was very interesting.
you'll become an operator of the central monitoring system, who will try to prevent the effects of even a single transgression. It's very like what do you call it? It feels very
Like
kind of
Watch
Big
Dogs,
Brother.
kind of? Yeah, Big Brother Watch Dogs kind of.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I never played Watch Dogs actually.
I didn't either.
Yeah. It's basically you track dangerous people and you don't let suspects run away from police. Yeah. It looks kind of interesting. I hope it's alright. I mean, I don't know what else this developer has done actually. Ultimate Games, Ultimate Fishing Simulator 2, Thief Simulator 2, Priest Simulator.
Oh my
simulator games.
Priest.
That is a great pedigree.
Priest Simulator isn't even out yet.
I have nothing but confidence in this developer, clearly.
Bakery Simulator, Electrician Simulator First Shock, Priest Simulator Heavy Duty, Sandbox with a vampire priest in the leading role. Yeah, I mean, I'm all here for it.
Baking Simulator is actually something me and my daughter have played. So
Oh, interesting.
it's not terrible.
Ultimate Fishing Simulator VR.
Oh, there's Mermich right there.
Sounds like fishing's one of their main.
Yeah.
Fishing for crooks.
So yeah.
That's what this game is all about.
Nerds. Yeah. So this is the nerds. This is this game, basically.
Nice.
Interesting. So this is the Skynet simulator.
That we've been waiting for. Yeah.
Yep. That's the one.
All right. So what's your next one, Ray?
Let's look at Frogun or Frogun, depending on how you want to read it in English.
Or Mario 64.
It's a person with a grappling hook, basically, in an old school PS1 N64 style game platformer.
Oh.
But your
yeah.
but your grappling hook is a frog.
Right, and a gun.
Yes.
So yeah, all those retro fans that might have some nostalgia.
Oof.com. This happens all the time. What are you talking about?
You haven't been here very long, have you?
Yeah.
So yeah, what more can we say? If you're interested in that, then you're interested in that.
Well, seeing as how I would say about 70% of my viewers don't even speak English or not from an English-speaking country, that's not really that strange. Yeah, but it's a very interesting game, and I'm very happy that we get to use a frog as a grappling hook. It's it's a nice touch. All right, my next one is Gigabash.
Gigabash.
Which it's gigantic monsters beating the shit out of each other. I'm down for it. Yeah, a bunch of people lurking. Thank you. My channel thrives on lurkers, pretty much.
Like you've never seen lurkers before or something.
But if you're a fan of the old series King of Monsters, this is pretty much just a newer version of that. It's an arena brawler where you play as kaiju.
Kaiju. Sorry.
Which I am a giant fan of. Anybody like Pacific Rim? I did. But basically, yeah, it's basically just you take giant monsters and have them fight against each other. Not anything too crazy, but it just really looks like a lot of fun.
Simple, but yeah, if they can, get it all working right and balanced, then yeah, that looks like it'd be a lot of fun.
I can just imagine like some would be OP,
Yeah.
but I'm in for it. It looks cool. I'm terrible at fighting games, so this one's not gonna be for me. But yeah.
Same. If I wasn't, though, I would be interested.
Yeah, same. As someone who's watched Pacific Rim multiple times and the anime, yeah.
Alright, next one on the list is Hard West 2. Or, as I would describe it, Wild West version of XCOM.
Yes. You played the first version of this game.
Yes, I love anything with the XCOM style gameplay, so. And I love Wild West stuff, so it's a pretty easy thing to get invested in.
Yeah.
Luckily, you have a few dark.
The Hard West, the first game, was pretty good, but it was a very low budget affair. I just hope this takes what they learned from the first game and they can make it a little more polished, that's all. It wasn't even bad, it was just very unpolished, that's all.
That'd be cool. Well, considering they're making a sequel, they must have gotten enough confidence to,
Yeah. Yeah.
do it again, but better.
Like XCOM 2 and Expeditions Rome. Alright. What you got now, James?
I have Battle Rift.
Okay.
This is Battle Rift, a sci-fi first-person shooter. It's like Super Mario, only harder, in 3D, and has guns.
I love the description.
Sorry.
I love it. I love the description, man. That's a hell of a description.
Yeah, this looks good.
Similar to games you played
looks-
Forewarned, I'm not really sure about that, Steve. I don't feel.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. I think it will get better over time. It looks pretty basic right now, but I'm curious to see how it goes.
Yeah, I mean, that's what early access is for. I mean, as long as you take the time to improve your game, then that's all we can ask.
Early access, polishing potential.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, what you got, Ray?
Yeah.
Bullet Core. That's core with K. K-O-U-R.
Oh,
All one word.
K-O-U-R?
Yeah, one word. Whole thing.
There you go. Ah, so parkour. Ha, I got it.
Core with bullets.
I feel like this would be a perfect VR game.
I was kind of thinking that. I was like, oh, that kind of looks like it's be good in VR. Honestly, this is the kind of thing that I was thinking, like, oh, Silver might like this game.
Anything that involves shooting guns very fast.
Pretty much.
This very much looks like a really basic Mirror's Edge.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
Actually, it's also making me think of what's that came out kind of recently, that one game of oh, what was it called?
Oh, the cyberpunkish style game?
Was it the cyberpunkish one? I don't. It was like it had like between missions. I think it had like a kind of visual novel story style thing.
Mirror's Edge.
And you used no, a newer game.
I don't know off the top of my head.
You had like you'd pick up weapons that were like cards, and you could use them either to shoot things or as like a traversal tool.
Oh, you mean the one that just came out a little while ago? What was it called? White something.
Yeah, sounds accurate. I forget what it's called.
White, neon white.
Neon white kind of gave me that kind of vibe where you're using your weapons to parkour around a level.
Dude, that is the greatest speedrunning game I've ever seen. Neon white, it's so great. All right, let's see. My next one is Tyrant's Blessing. So this is a tactical, well, it's a turn-based strategy game, basically. I am a sucker for Final Fantasy Tactics or anything of that pedigree. So this is very much that.
That's the only Final Fantasy game I've ever played. Is Final Fantasy Tactics Advanced.
It's good, ain't it?
Oh my god, this looks exactly the same.
Yeah.
What?
Oh, wait a minute. I saw something else like this. One second. I had something to my list now.
But yeah, I love stuff like this. So doesn't have to be big and grandiose. It just has to be good. Yeah. That's why I've always been surprised they've never ported Final Fantasy Tactics to anything else. You know, I was waiting for even a remaster or whatever to be put on other consoles. Nothing. It's so strange.
How many more do you have, James, out of curiosity?
I have, after Battle Rift, I have 4.
Ooh, if I can find
And
this
you?
other one, then that means I also have 4, so that'll be nice.
And
How many do you have left?
If I can find this one that I'm looking for, because I saw it earlier, then I will also have 4.
Yeah, and Tim, how many will you have? About 8 or 9, hopefully?
somewhere around there.
Or less?
Ooh,
Somewhere
we're gonna
around.
have the perfect ratio of games between the three of us.
All right. Farthest frontier. So this is
For this frontier.
this is my one city builder of the month. I always have usually one of these on the list, but this looks very,
Nice.
very nice. So you literally start from nothing and forage and build up small cities, and you work your way up. The animation style and everything else looks great. It says it's
Oh, I saw an ad for this.
yeah. It looks very nice, and it's very similar to Timberborn, which if it's anything like Timberborn, then we'll like it because Timberborn was a good game.
Timberborn was a good game, or is a good game. It's still
Yes.
really excellent. This reminds me
It's
of
not
what is
gone.
that? Banish was another city builder kind of like this. It looks like, or Banish.
Yeah, it looks like it's gonna be something very ambitious. I I'd love to see how it turns out. I'm not going to promise that it's going to be great, but it looks really good as it stands right now. Like, even if you look at the screenshots, it looks very well done.
Look very nice, yeah.
Yeah. So, that's a big one for me. Let's see. Alright, I'm going to do one more just to try and even this out so we can all end around the same time.
Sounds good.
Because...
Yeah.
Alright, Lost in Play. This is my one point-and-click game this month, and I think this game looks phenomenal. I don't care. Like, I usually don't play a lot of point-and-click, but it looks great.
I did also see this, and just from the title, it kind of looked like something you might be interested in. I didn't look too...
Well, the funny part is that this is even just a trailer. The whole game looks like this.
Yeah.
And I love the art style.
Yeah. It looks good. Looks funny.
Yeah, I almost want to get
Reminds
that.
me of like. It reminds me a bit of Final Space almost with the animation.
Yeah, yes, very much so. Very much so.
A whimsical adventure game.
Alright, so what you got, James?
I have Death Below.
Okay.
So I'm bringing this game because it's probably actually not a game I would play myself, but I feel like it's a good game that other people need to see. So it's a survival horror third person. Basically, it's based on the legend of a Soviet experiment of the 40s. And yeah, this probably is not a game that I will play, because no siree, I'm not about that horror life. But yeah, it looks like it could be good. So I'm excited to see how it goes. I might watch someone else play it, but yeah, I just thought I needed to bring people's attention to this because it does look like it will be a good game.
Yeah. Yeah, you know what's funny is I know Silver would play this in a heartbeat.
Yeah, this does sound like it's kind of up his alley.
Yeah. He's totally about that horror life.
Very Resident Evil, kind of.
Yeah, and that just ain't me, to be honest. But you know what? It looks like it could be a fun game for people who are into that. So I'm bringing it to the people.
Well, there you go. That's what this is basically all about, anyway.
Yep.
Yep. Yeah.
Cool.
Not for me, but for someone.
All right. All right. What's next, Ray?
Well, since you made me look and find this, I see your Final Fantasy Tactics inspired game, and I raise you one. Vanaris Tactics.
Okay.
Vanaris.
Vana.
RIS.
Yep, I found it.
Vananas.
We already did the banana game.
Yeah. Joking.
Oh, nice. So basically, it is another Final
Final Fantasy Tactics
type game.
inspired game.
Nice.
I was debating whether or not I should talk about this, but then since you brought one, I was like, no, okay, fine.
You know what this makes me think about is that old dice game I used to play, and I can't even remember the name of it. It was Final Fantasy Tactics, but with dice. I don't know if I don't
This
really.
does really look like it as well. Jeez.
The animation kind of gives me more of a Disgaea feel, but Disgaea is also a very RPG tactics game.
Look at that! If you want a game like Final Fantasy Tactics, you're eating good this month.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You have
you are
options.
loving life right now.
You have
Alright.
options, and not many people have options when they have a specific genre they like.
Okay, so this is kind of a funny story. I brought up Rogue Legacy 2 as one of my favorite games of this year. Well, another sequel to a series that I love, well, a game that I love, is Axiom Verge. And
I did see this.
And Axiom Verge 2 drops this month. So I am very interested because Axiom Verge was an incredible game, the first one. And if he makes it anything, you know, relative to the first game, I'm going to be extremely happy. Because Axiom Verge, for people that don't mind like the old school graphical aesthetic, the actual gameplay and the actual game itself is incredible.
I was trying to remember if this was something Silver also played or not.
Because Axiom Verge was made by one guy. And that's why everybody was always blown away by this game and its predecessor, because it's made by one guy. And the first Axiom Verge game took him 5 years to make by himself, so... Alright, and...
Years, jeez.
Yeah, thankfully it was good, right? I've been very disappointed in that time loss. Alright, here's my, how do I put it? My underground hit of the month is definitely going to be Cult of the Lamb. Where you play as a pig!
Nowhere expecting you to go there.
You play as a pig who has to make a cult.
Sure.
Listen, it's a Devolver Digital game. They're allowed to be weird. So basically, in a land of false prophets where everybody has a cult, you try and make your own cult. I mean, at least that's somewhat accurate.
Sure.
Oh, it will sell tons. People will play it. Alright, what you got next, Ray?
Yeah, I'm interested to see if... Wow, just skip me?
Oh,
That's rude.
I'm sorry, James. You go ahead.
I have the Whoop-Ass Immortal Death, an action-packed adventure.
That's a mouthful.
It just looks great, man. Yeah, it's a massive mouthful. But meets the Whoop-Ass, the hero who, due to a series of hilarious and poor life choices, brings chaos and disarray to a utopian world. He must find the legendary villain-beating artifact TM to vanquish the Immortal.
I love
This
the
just
TM,
looks
man.
hilarious. The TM is so great as well. Yeah, this looks like a nice little RPG. That yeah, I think you could. Looks like you can wear like funny hats, and you can get all these kind of boosters, and there's a part of the trailer where he just walks into the shark. You know, walks
That's
into
water.
the lake. Yeah, there's literally signs about sharks, and he just walks into it and dies anyway. Kind of hilarious. So, yeah,
Yep, there it is.
I'm interested to see. Yep, there it is. It's dead. So, yeah, I think it'll be a good game. I'm not sure how much you'll get out of it, or kind of how long it'll be, but
Your
yeah,
mileage may
looks
vary,
like
but it
it'll
looks
be alright.
hilarious.
I think I have
Yeah, your mileage will definitely vary, but yeah,
Are you hungry?
this is definitely a good memes game.
What do you mean, Ray? It says it's like Tales of Arise, according to...
Something tells me that's not accurate.
Alright, what you got next, Ray?
Mechabot Defender.
Megabot Defender!
Right? It sounds like it needs to have that kind of introduction.
Yeah.
There it is.
This described itself as kind of like a Vampire Survivors style game. but instead of you fighting the enemies, you deploy turrets to fight the enemies, and then you get to upgrade the turrets.
Oh, I'm not being mean. Steam always acts like it's drunk when it comes to that type of stuff. It gives me the weirdest suggestion.
We expect it. It's just entertainment at that point.
Yeah. The Steam algorithm is
You're
just...
you're like looking at... Yeah, you're looking at Steam like the... Oh, you.
Oh,
Like-
Steam.
Oh, Steam. You did it again. You crafty.
Let's
Gave me
see.
a wax fuck recommendation.
Okay. Oh yeah, this is definitely one of my favorites coming up. Is Fashion Police Squad.
Ah, yes, you posted this earlier.
Yes.
Nice.
Really.
You like your boomer shooters? I like my boomer shooters with comedy, where I use my belt, sorry, as a grappling hook.
Oh, yeah.
I've actually been...
Wild.
Yeah, I was gonna say, this game looks so wild, man. I love it.
Nice. Are you throwing gnomes?
Yes! Yes.
Yeah, he's just throwing gnomes.
Just like, ah!
He's just... His catchphrase has got to be, gnome to meet you. Yeah.
The fashion police, gnome crime unpunished.
I'm saying, this
Vanished.
This game looks so great.
I
Alright.
expect to have an entire wardrobe of armaments.
Alright, so anybody who likes Dark Souls combat without the difficulty of Dark Souls.
What is Dark Souls combat without the difficulty of Dark Souls? Does that even exist? I thought difficulty was the entire point of the combat.
That's
No,
what it is.
no, you have to call it Souls-like. You have to call it Souls-like, man. That's a whole genre now.
Ah, yes.
Yeah, it's like Jedi Fallen Order is a Souls-like.
Yep. But one you can actually, like, yeah. But this is Thymesia. This is one I saw about during Summer Game Fest, and finally coming out this month, and looks like a real fun experience, honestly.
It's flashy, and I like it.
Yeah.
I like the flashy.
Yeah,
That's-
this looks cool. Corvus. Ah, yes. Classic name.
I question the similarity to Vermintide, but that's just Steam being Steam.
Isn't Corvus also like the main character of another game as well? What's the character of Dishonored called?
Corvo.
Yep, Corvo.
Corvo.
That's
Yeah.
Corvo.
Similar.
Similar, very similar.
Yeah.
Alright,
Latin root.
Okay.
you're back up, James.
Yeah. I've only got 2 to go. Starlist.
Yep.
Starlist. A stealth action horror sci-fi. Feels like Alien. You wake up on a giant space ark teeming with dangerous monsters. Will you manage to survive?
Any other genres you want to add to
And
that?
there's yeah, I'm not sure. Look at the second picture, by the way. If you like, once the video plays, because that second picture is kind of hilarious.
It looks a little gruesome.
Yeah. Yep.
So it's pixel art, basically aliens, to a degree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With looks like hand drawn, not hand drawn per se, but detailed cutscenes.
Nice. Doesn't look bad.
No, it doesn't look bad at all.
And that's what we're
Be
looking
interested
for.
to see what the price tag is.
Yeah, that's a big one.
That's gonna be a big one on a lot of these.
But that's also
What are you asking for?
That's also a big thing, though, is that, like, you could try a demo, so at least it's not, like, as big of a risk as
yeah.
normal. Where it's like, try our game for $40. Oh, it was shit. Oh, too bad we got your money. Alright, what do you got, Ray?
All right, Tim.
Yeah.
H8 machine. This is no spaces, and the number 8.
Deck building ship posting simulator. Because
Oh yeah.
It gets even better when you scroll down and read the setting.
is a card game set in a dystopian future in which artificial intelligence has completely taken over the online world. It learned to behave just like us.
I
Oh
doubt you could
god.
even imagine it.
Oh lord.
That
So
was
basically,
commanding the
AIs
internet,
took over the internet,
lordy.
and now the entire internet is
making
Twitter.
shit posting. The most fun it has
Or
ever
Reddit.
been.
Alright, I'm adding it to the wish list. You got it. Got it.
It
Or
was a
Tumblr.
freebie.
No.
I had to. I knew I would.
That's a goodie right there.
Right.
Alright, so Neo Dash. That's my next-
Neo Dash.
Neo Dash is neon racing game, which actually looks great, and it has community made tracks, which adds to the
For longevity.
yeah. You know, it's kind of like it's like if Grip actually had physics that worked properly. But no, it
It does look that way.
It looks like a flashy, fun game where you can throw your car around the map, which looks great.
Yeah, I like the drifting. The drifting's real style. Got real style to it. Ooh, yeah, and it does have the like inverted levels like Grip does.
And it's definitely got the speed. The speed is important.
It looks like it's got Rocket League kind of controls too, with the like boosts
Yeah.
helping you in the air and all that. A lot of air control.
I mean, the actual gameplay looks crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Oh, and it even has transform modes.
Yeah.
Go Power Rangers.
That looks, like I said, this game.
Robots.
This has been a
That's a watch.
yeah this
Watch and see.
yeah this has been on my wish list for a couple months actually. Someone else actually brought this to my attention first, so I can't take credit for that. Let's see. I'm gonna skip over one because Madden 23 is coming out. If you don't know that, then you probably don't care about it, so I'm not gonna bother wasting your time. Next one. This one I'm really excited about. Also coming to Game Pass. Midnight Go. Nope, that's Roman. Midnight Fight Express. There you go.
So while you look that up, I actually won a copy of
You know the saying. Get knocked down,
Madden 22
again,
on Twitter. So
hold
Nice.
last year.
Well, it's time
So
to
Twitter's good for some things.
So this is basically
together.
I like Mr. Shifty, but if you like Door Crashers or Hotline Miami, this is basically your type of game.
Yeah, I can see that.
It just seems like they've
It's happening.
raised the bar
Going through with it. While I sat at his
in that
side,
type of shit, though.
dollar signs. Had the stink of corruption all over.
Very action-packed.
You know who put it there? Nah, not him. Me.
I love games like this.
Interesting.
So
Neither are you. Tonight, we wash this whole damn city down.
yeah, from the writers of Destiny 2.
Co-writers of Destiny 2, yeah.
Yeah.
And the stuntman.
Brilliant.
Oh my goodness.
And the stuntman from God of War. That's what I thought was funny. Yeah.
Alright.
Oh,
Looks good.
okay, here, I gotta do one more. Only because I know
Oh,
that...
it's Humble Games, that's good. Humble Games.
Exactly.
That's
Eh,
a good sign.
So this is a Ray game. I'm gonna make it real quick, but this is totally a Ray game. S&T Gundam Battle Alliance.
Now, why is that a Ray game?
Oh, come on, you know you want to get it. You know, the minute it has anything like that, he's like, yeah, okay.
Like you've barely finished saying the word Gundam, and he's like, "Hello there." Like
Hello
kicks in
there.
the door, like kicks in the door like the Kool-Aid Man. Oh yeah.
Well, the crazy part is this actually looks like a really good Gundam game for PC, finally.
Yeah, we need those. Oh, it's multiplayer.
Yeah.
RPG. Always good. I have to say it's kind of disappointing that it's the SD franchise, but I guess we gotta take what we can get.
I know nothing about Gundam, so this is your guys' corner.
SD is just basically Chibi's version. So everything's like...
I figure this is a good replacement until EDF comes out, right?
Gosh.
I have games to play.
All right, I cut down my list pretty good there. I'm trying to make it so we all end at the same time or around. So, all right, you guys are back up.
The last one for me, F1 Manager 2022. End of the month. I'm a massive F1 fan. This is an A-list title.
This is not
55 euros, 50 euros if you pre-order it, it's 10% off. Yeah, just if you're an F1 nerd, buy this game.
Is it sad that I forgot to?
Sorry,
Is
let me clarify that. If you're an F1 nerd and you don't have a driving wheel, buy this game.
Hey Ray, I forgot to mention the fact I played F1 22 for like 30 hours. I completely forgot about it. That's alright. It's a good game.
If you played 30 hours, then it was pretty good game. But if you forgot about it, then I guess it's fair that it didn't show up on the list.
It was part of a play test, so. But it was good. For F1 22, buy it. There you go.
Here we go with the Azerbaijan Grand Prix.
So, yep.
Cool.
Go get it.
Alright, what you got, Ray?
Alright, Tim. Prepare yourself again. That's not how it happened.
It's not how it happened.
It's free.
That's not how it happened.
It's an interactive visual novel beat-em-up game.
What in the world
What
happened?
could you want?
Rose, how was your day, honey?
Our inn is gone. How did this happen?
Oh, I love it. He's trying to tell a story to his wife. Alright, I'm already on the... That's great! Okay, okay.
Never counts it.
Oh, god damn!
Wait.
What are you talking
God.
about? Here's how it went.
That's not how it happened.
That's great! That's great.
So the dad, when he recounts things, is in a fighting game. The son is in like a visual novel dating sim.
Yeah, that looks like a dating sim, doesn't it?
Right.
And the daughter's in a
Is in a
point and click.
adventure.
Okay, alright, fine.
That's
Dinosaurs
okay.
and
Don't
animal.
think about it.
You win. Add the wish list.
That's really ingenious, actually. Like, to have, like, 3 games in one. In fact, 4 games, because you got the overarching game, right?
Right.
So, to have 4 games in one is actually, like, so genius.
Nice. That's great.
And I hadn't even noticed that it was actually going to be free to play. Does it say free to play?
Alright, so I'm gonna burn through all the rest of my games real quick because I don't want to keep everybody waiting. But there are some good ones in here, so we're gonna talk about them real quick. We got Soul Hackers 2, which is from Atlas, the people that make Persona.
Soul Hackers 2, hack again. No, I don't.
Soul Hackers 2, rehacked.
Rehacked.
It's a cyberpunk.
Hackers 2, now with more soul.
It's a cyberpunk JRPG game. Try and hold yourself back, Ray. Try and hold yourself back. No, it actually looks incredible. I can't wait to try it out because I'm definitely going to. This goes back to a demo I played months ago. Tinykin, which I believe you remember me playing this, Ray, is actually coming out this month.
Oh, nice.
One I had a lot of fun playing because the Tinykin were...
This thing.
Yeah, so... Finally drops in full on the 30th.
Fascinating world of
Wait, didn't I mention this one day and then you played the demo of it?
Yep, on stream, yep.
I remember that. Yes.
It's a very fun game.
It's like Pikmin. It's
Yeah.
The Pikmin style game.
Yep. All right. Destroy all humans 2 reprobed.
Yes. Yes.
Yes, I played the first one. It was incredible. Like, I played them years ago, but like the reprobed version of the original was very good. So I can't wait. Let's see. All right, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: The Cowabunga Collection.
Ninja Turtles.
My retro feels are going off the charts with this one. So this game includes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 13 old.
I went quick.
Yeah, 13 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle games from my past, including the original arcade game with co-op and Turtles in Time with co-op, which is both incredible.
Woo.
Yeah, I can't wait to play all this stuff again, because sure, emulation is fine, but having them all in one collection on PC will be great. Even if there's a little bit of quality of life improvements, that'd be great. So there's saving and rewind, which is already a big one. So if you played any of the older ones, they're very difficult. All right.
Co-op is probably one of the best things that it's still got too.
Yep. All right. Next one is Call of the Wild: The Angler, which is taking the hunting series Call of the Wild and making a fishing experience.
Game. It sounds like a fishing game.
Yeah, but it's a co-op fishing game in a giant, expansive world that you can go around in and find the perfect spot in. And it's cool because you can just hang out with your friends in a big open world and find places to go fishing, which, if it doesn't cost a fortune, I think would be a rather fun thing to do on stream. That's a game that's completely based on price. Next one is Scathe.
But this sounds familiar.
Scathe. This is a game I thought came out yesterday, but it comes out in a month. I have the beta branch. I guess I got a month to try it out first. So, because I actually have the game already, and I've already been playing it a little bit. It is a co-op bullet hell Doom clone, I guess I would categorize it as. And it's a lot of fun. A lot of fun.
How many players?
I believe 2, I'm not sure.
It's like something you and Silver need to go through.
Drop in, drop out multiplayer. And we'll have full crossplay.
Ooh.
Up to 3 friends. Oh, so it's 4-player co-op.
Nice.
So if anybody is interested in this, I do have an extra key. So if anyone decides they want to play this with me, please get a hold of me here in Discord or wherever, and you're more than welcome to join me on my adventure into hell. Okay. This is the game that I am most excited for stream-wise. Is Are You Smarter Than a 5th Grader? It's gonna be great.
Oh, no.
It comes out the 23rd. Aren't you excited, Ray?
Sure.
Oh, okay, man. You can't tell me that people aren't gonna be salty about this one.
Probably.
Alright, 2 more. I got Earth Shadow. Earth Shadow is a sci-fi third-person RPG game, which is very reminiscent of, like, Elix and, I would say, like, old Mass Effect games. Like, the first one. Because it's not, like, a super high-fidelity game, but it seems to have a lot going on inside of it. So, like, it's definitely something that's going to need to be polished a bit, but it looks like it has a lot of potential, I would say.
Interesting.
I'm curious.
See, I always love sci-fi RPG games because I feel like they always got a little more to them than normal ones. Hey Mario, welcome back at the end.
I'm just waiting for Starfield, man. That's a sci-fi RPG.
Dude, I can't wait till for Starfield either. And lastly, but not least, oh shit, is this an Epic exclusive and I am not aware of this? I think maybe maybe it is.
Oh no.
Yeah.
What do we got?
Okay.
What's he done?
Nope. So the Epic exclusive to end it out, because I guess we gotta look it up on there, because, you know, they can't just have everything on Steam. That would be way too hard.
Yeah.
Especially,
that would be.
Especially when there's that Epic Games money that you can toss around.
That tasty, sweet Epic Games money.
The last one is... Am I even going to be able to find it on here? Where the hell's the game? Like...
Where is it?
Alright, I'll just say it. It's Saints Row.
Saints Row.
It's not on Steam. I believe when I put my key request in, it was only available here. So, yeah, it's only available on Epic. Yeah, and it drops the 23rd. So it is a reboot of the franchise. I was very disappointed at first, but from what I've heard of first impressions, people have been very positive about it. So, you know, I'd much rather take a moment and wait and see instead of just shitting on it for no apparent reason. So, it's a co-op game. I mean, if you could have fun with your friends in it, I imagine it's going to be a blast. So, why not? And, yeah, that's it for the games coming up for me. There's a ton, if you can't tell, between all of us saying how many we got. There was a ton of games coming up for August.
There's a lot.
So, hopefully, what I am going to end up doing to make it so next month's podcast is not, like, 8 hours long, is I'm probably going to do, like, a mini solo podcast in the middle of the month to cover whatever games I hit during the beginning, so that way... At the end of the month, we don't have to sit here for 4.5 hours doing that many reviews. So, yeah. Thank you very much, everybody who stopped by. Thank you for hanging out, and I hope you appreciated and found some games that you're looking forward to. James, you can tell people what's going on with you coming up.
Yeah, so I have a stream on Wednesday. We're doing a lot of stream loots at the moment. We are trying to hit Streamloot's partner, so come in, there's card pack giveaways and stuff, and we're playing a lot of Tarkov at the moment. I've also got to play some other games on stream as well. I also have a sponsored stream coming up at some point for Raid Shadow Legends, so it would really be appreciative if you guys could download and play Raid Shadow Legends when I buzz you. I'll hit you guys up in Discord, don't worry.
That's fine.
As always, follow the Twitter, and we are only 6 Twitch followers away from a 24-hour charity stream.
Ooh.
So, if any of your 101 viewers don't know who I am, come check out my channel.
Yes.
Yep, it's in chat.
Yeah. Yeah, you can definitely post all your stuff in there real quick, James. Ray, I think I know what you'll be doing. You'll be doing the same thing you do every month, playing. For people that don't know, Ray is a mod for my channel, but he's also a very good friend who likes to play a lot of things that require dailies. But he also likes puzzle games and stuff along with that.
There's so many games that require dailies.
Me this month, I will be playing Chernobylite. I will be playing Spider-Man Remastered, and I will be playing Saints Row. Those ones are guaranteed. Other than that, I play a lot of indie games, and we have a lot of community stuff that we do. So make sure to come hang out more often. If you're only here for the podcast, or if you just came by today, we do a lot of fun stuff on this channel. Make sure to stop by again. Next stream for me will be on Wednesday, which will be playing Catch Me, which is a indie tag-based game. It seems very interesting. And also playing Killing Floor 2, which is becoming a community favorite. And on Thursday, I'll be doing a whole stream of just indie stuff, so it's going to be a lot of fun. So yeah, stop on by. Thank you for watching. And I hope everyone has a great rest of their day. And thanks again. See you next time.
Have a good day, folks.
Peace.